How's it going, guys? So today we're going to be taking a look at the Xmedex Xtreme 4K Android Media Center. And just a quick disclaimer, this unit was sent out to us by both Xmedex Australia and droidworld.com.au for review purposes. Okay, so the first thing I noticed after taking this thing out of the box was just how tiny it really is. It's about the same size as an Apple TV 2 and weighs about half as much. As far as aesthetics go, I do like it. It's very nice and simple, but the thing I don't really understand is the odd placement of both the power button and the antenna. When you have the device sitting on a bench and the logo's the correct way up, the power button's on the side, which is arguably that's an alright place to put it, but the strange thing is the antenna sits off to the side rather on the back. Now, there's probably not enough room on the back for it, but it just seems out of place where it is. Now, just one more note about the aesthetics of the unit. The top half of the casing does have a very glossy finish to it. Xmedex do include a free protector on there to protect it from getting scratched, and this is completely up to personal preference. Some people don't like glossy things, some people do. It doesn't really bother me, but I thought I would add it in there anyway. On the Xtreme, there is no shortage of I/O. We have a LAN on the back that is a 10 to gigabit Ethernet, 2 USB 2.0 ports, HDMI out, optical out, and the DC input. Along the right hand side of the unit, we have an AV composite output, recovery pin switch, SD card slot, OTG cable. This is for hot loading updates to the device, and a USB 2.0 port. Out of the box, the Xtreme does include a basic IR remote control. This will let you do most functions on the device, such as play movies, browse the internet, use YouTube, and other things like that. The device ships with Xmedex's front-end user GUI pre-installed. That means that you don't have to fiddle with anything, you can just pull it straight out of the box. And I have to say, it's very easy to use and it's very easy to see from way back on the couch. This is because both the text and icons scale really nicely. There's no aliasing or anything like that. The device also comes bundled with a custom build of Kodi Media Center for Android. And if you get this from droidworld.com.au, it includes a whole bunch of add-ons you can install. These are all sorts of streaming channels and things. You can get family, music, live sports, stuff like that. Droidworld also include plugins to allow you to stream music and live TV from other countries, including the news and other things like that. So yes, very good. All the official Google apps work on this, such as Google Chrome, the Play Store, YouTube, everything like that. Haven't run into a single issue with any of those. However, being that this is an Android TV box and not an actual tablet PC, some applications don't work because they don't support a mouse or remote input. Okay, so before we look at the Antutu benchmark results, let's just quickly go over the hardware specs for this device. So the unit we have here is the Xtreme edition. There is an Xtreme Plus, but the one we have here has 2 GB of RAM, 16 GB of flash storage with 2 GB reserved for Linux, a Rockchip RK3288 quad-core CPU running at 1.8 GHz, and a Mali T764 GPU, Bluetooth 4.0, and yes, PS3 controllers do work on it, I've tested it, and 5 GHz AC wireless. The Xtreme took a few minutes to run through all the benchmarks, but once it was done, it ended up with a score of 42,563. Now, for just a bit of an unfair comparison, here's the benchmark results for Antutu from my iPhone 6s. Running the TSMC processor, which is the slightly cooler one. And as you can see, there's a fairly big difference, but there's also a huge difference in price. Okay, before we take a look at the pre-installed Linux distro, there is one small Android feature I want to talk about, and that is the built-in AirPlay support. Now, the Xtreme comes with a piece of software that allows you to enable AirPlay or AirPlay mirroring, as well as the Android variant. And basically this just allows you to connect up your phone to the same wireless network, and from sitting back on your couch you can stream whatever's on your phone screen to the TV. This is really handy for showing people things like photos or videos of family and stuff, and it's just really cool. It's also an easy way to sit back and read stuff or watch a YouTube video quickly if you didn't want to navigate through the built-in YouTube app on the device. Another similar feature, which is also included on the Xtreme model, is the Air Mouse functionality. Now this basically lets you use your phone as a wireless mouse for the system. It utilizes the accelerometer and gyroscope in the phone, and basically you can use your phone sort of like a Wii remote on the TV, and it's really cool. So this is the last big feature of the Xtreme, and that is the pre-installed Linux distro that ships with the device. I honestly had high hopes for this because, as you can see, I tried to install Steam on the device, but because I'm using the 16GB version, there isn't enough storage on the Linux partition of the flash storage in order to install anything. Currently on my system here, there's only 2GB, and after you install Steam, it's completely full, so you can't really do much with it. Now, if this was the 32GB version, then I'm pretty sure there would be more free space to use up here, and you might be able to get some use out of it, but in its default state, the way I got it, I couldn't do anything with it. But other than that, all the pre-installed applications that come with Linux, such as web browsing, using the internet and stuff, the network works, I can download things easy. All that kind of stuff works. It works as a basic TV box, but as far as installing other applications and things on here, there's just no storage for it, and I don't know how to extend the storage. That's a bit of a letdown, but other than that, the option's there. A lot of Android TV boxes don't even give you the option of Android, so yeah. So what are my final thoughts on the Xtreme? Well, it's a really good device. It does what it says on the box. It does everything fine, but I'd be a bit hard pressed to have this as a full-on replacement for my home theater PC. Now, granted, if you were someone that was looking for an easy to use device, if say you're moving from an Apple TV, you just want to have a bit more functionality, or you're interested in having all those extra features such as the international TV streaming and everything, then this device would probably work perfectly for you. But for more of a power user like me, where I want to have complete 100% control over the software and hardware of it, and it's meant to fit within a pre-existing ecosystem of Windows PCs, it's not the best for me. But as I said, for someone that was looking for just a simple basic device that does basic things like this, just play movies and things like that, then yeah, this would be perfect for you. However, for me, it's not. I'm sorry to say, but yeah. Another big shout out and thank you to Xmedex Australia and droidworld.com.au for sending this device out for us to review, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!